Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again.
And there he is. And there he is. Y'all like that? I was trying to switch up that old thing a little bit. I don't know what I was doing. I was just touching buttons over there. But it didn't do my whole intro. Now, if y'all like the intro, I can play the intro again. Oh, so I will tell you what it says. It says, oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Sit back, relax, put on your headgear. All the Louisiana country boys about to put something in your ear. Oh, and here it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday. It is the Wednesday edition of my Worthless 2 Cents Table Talk. Well, let me say I ain't gonna say it. Y'all read it right, channel? Y'all see what it said? Let me move that over. Y'all see what it said? Well, your approval is not needed. I just need to clarify that. So look here. First and foremost, it is a blessing, it is an honor, it is a privilege to be before you once more again. As them old Baptist preachers say, I won't be before you long, and I won't. All I'm gonna do is pop in and pop on up out of here. Look, I just want to say, first of all, I hope y'all had an opportunity to catch my co-host, chat with Trina. She's got some special stuff going on. I hope y'all tuned in, man. Man, y'all get on that old thing. She got that old trip coming up. So y'all need to check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Because it's going. Damn. Well, anyway, look here. Old Country Boy just wanted to come on and just sow a little seed, show a little encouragement, just sow a little word to you. I had did a post today, so I'm gonna speak on that thing just for a minute. Get it, speak on it, but anyway, just for a quick second. You know, I think we sometimes get some things confused, and I want to try to clear it up in my mind what my mind says. You know, first and foremost, everything that's good, it ain't God. Everything that we think and we do this because it's good and we try to say, well, that's God. Everything that's good ain't God. It ain't. Everything's good ain't God. You know, and man, oh, that's a tough one. Right ain't always easy. You know, in this life that we're in and that we all go through and the things that this old boy here has come to understand that doing right, doing right a lot of times will have people turn against you. Doing right, doing the right thing. A lot of times we get you ostracized and get you talked about, get you criticized, get you this, that, and the other. Doing right ain't always easy. You know, I've seen it where a lot of people go along to get along. They don't want to rock the boat per se. They don't want to cause any confusions, even though they know some things ain't right. They don't want to be right because they don't want to stand out or feel like they're standing out or feel like they're going against the the norm or going against what everybody else is going for. And I understand that. I understand it. I understand it. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just only speaking about this old boy right here. Being right ain't always easy. Being right can leave you out there all by yourself. Boy, I tell you, this one right here. Woo, my goodness, this one right here. Good. Ain't always God. Man, you know, I spent a lot of times and doing things that I thought were good. I thought were good. They may have been good things. But the thing is I wasn't doing God things. I wasn't doing what God had told me to do, or directed me to do, or led me to do. I was like, oh, this is something good to do. But in our minds, in my mind, I had fixed it that it's because I'm doing something good, then I'm doing what's God ordained, and it's not always the case. It's not always the case. And sometimes what we have to do is really, I know what I have to do. You have to really, 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 really have a relationship and be able to hear what God is telling us. Because sometimes things, doing something might look good. It might seem, and it make you know what's that thing that well, people always say, well, doing good make you feel good. It make you feel good to do good, but does it cause more hurt? And does it is the good that you're doing, is it a part of God's purpose and God's plan, or is it just our selfishness, our own selfishness, our own need to lift ourselves up, our own need to get accolades? Is it for us? No, it's for Him. Are we doing this thing so people will see us shine? Will applaud us, be like, oh, look at this, oh, that old country. Or are we doing it? Are we doing it? You want to come on this thing? Come on up here. Are we doing it? Are we doing it because it is God?
Come on up here. Are we doing it?
Everything,
Are we doing it because it is God?
everything that's good, it ain't God. And that's what I had to. I'm telling you, I've done things in my life that I was like, man, well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing this, and this is good. But it wasn't. It wasn't what God had. It wasn't. It wasn't a part of God's plan. It wasn't a part of what God had for me to do. It was a part of what this old boy wanted to do. It was because I wanted to do this, or I wanted to do that because I wanted the I. It was I. It was not he. And I tell you, man, learning learning the hard way, through this life. 58 years now, 58 years, steady learning. That doing right sometimes, doing right will leave you out on a boat by itself. You'll be out there like, oh Lord, but I was doing. Let me tell you something, that don't mean nothing. It will have people cutting you off because you went against the grain. It will have people turning their backs on you because you wouldn't jump on the train with them. I'm telling you, the most painful thing, let me tell you, this is how it makes you feel. Then you start to question yourself. You know what you did was the right thing, but then how many people have just shut up about doing the right thing because they know the last time I did the right thing, something that was right, what happened to me was I got talked about, I got cut off, I got pushed away, I was made to feel like doing right was wrong. That's it. Lord have mercy. He gave me that. How many times is doing right felt like it was wrong? God. Isn't that something you know within your heart that this thing is the right thing to do. You know that this thing, whatever this thing may be, is the right thing to do. Well, I'm gonna touch this. Whether it's staying in a relationship or whether it's leaving a relationship, whatever it may be, you know it's the right thing. But then when you do that thing, you are made to feel like you just did something. You're the most god awful person in the world. You got horns you got horns up here. That's how people will make you feel for doing what is right. Because they don't agree because you went against them, they will make you feel like what you did was wrong. They will make you feel like doing right is wrong. Maybe that's why sometimes today, when you look around and you say, well, look like everybody, because maybe those people that are out there just doing wrong and you see it and you don't say anything is because maybe they tried to do right at some point in life, but when they tried to do right, somebody came up against them and said, whoa, you know what? Oh, you should not do that. You are not, you, and they made them feel so bad about doing the right thing that either they start to do just the wrong thing, or even worse than that, they do nothing. Doing right ain't always easy. See, but if you have values and you have character, you don't mind the fact that when you do right, people will walk and turn against you. If you have that, because you know at the end of the day, and our old country boy always says this because I've learned this through my trials, my tribulations, my growth and my maturity, that at the end of the day, it is I who has to hold self accountable for what I did. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, I have to hold me. I will be held accountable, not for what you thought about what I did, not for how you looked at me for what I did. I will be held accountable for the things that I did, for my actions. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, when I do right, even if folks try to make me feel like it's wrong, but I know what I did was right, you can turn against me. You can walk away. You can talk about me. You can drag me through the mud, but I will be able to stand and I will be able to walk through any room in this house or in any place and look in the mirror and say, you know what, old country boy, you did what was right. Integrity. When I think about that, integrity and peace, both, in my opinion, come at such a high cost. Integrity and peace, both come at such a high cost. What we pay for our integrity, what we pay for our peace, is too much to squander and to give away to anyone for any reason. Because we paid for it. We paid the price. We paid the price. You know, I didn't come to, and I'm glad my co-host is here. She up. I told y'all, boy, she been on that old track. She been running around. She probably been lifting them weights and everything. Ain't probably been doing none of that. She probably whoop, but you know, I'm so glad that she stepped in. I'm so glad she's here. I'm glad to see her. I will say, you know, again, you know, it is an honor to have you here. I'm glad that you're okay. I see you smiling over there. Oh, there it is. I thank you for popping in.
I forgot you was coming on. I was like, if my phone rang, my phone did something. It said, "Oh, what's your title today?" The title popped up. I said, I wanted to check you out, and then I wanted to say hi to everybody because I'm sitting here on the computer. So I was like, why not? And then you don't check your messages or anything when you own. So I couldn't say, hey, do you mind if I come on? So I said, oh well, I'm gonna just crash the party.
You know, I'm always, yeah, look, I'll tell anybody, table's always open. You come onto the table anytime. I got, look, plenty of food to eat at the table.
Right. I because I was supposed to give this testimony on Monday about the person that works with me.
Mhm.
And I wanted to say, well, you know what, this would be a good night to tell it. But I also want to speak on what you were talking about, piggyback on what you said about doing the right thing, and how people turn on you what sometimes when you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah, as you know, I'm pretty opinionated. Um, I'm probably more my weakness is that I get real aggressive when I believe in something and I
Right.
know it's right and I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it.
Yeah.
And I saying that I know that and it's only if I know that I know that I know that I'm right. But this might be a sad thing to think about. But what I thought about is what you was talking is, how people they've had these shootings or whatever. And I don't remember, it's been some years ago that someone asked someone if they believe in God or something like that. And they said yes and got shot. And they had done it to others, but when it got to them, it was like they could have said no.
Right.
So they wouldn't get shot because they saw the other folks got shot and they still said yes. You know what I mean? So when you and it's probably have not quite what you was talking about, but that's what came to my mind is that when you believe in something, you believe in it.
Right.
And I this might be bad, but sometimes I do think about that though. I do think about if there was a line of people. Do you believe in God? You get shot. You believe in God? You shoot out. You believe in God? What would I say? I do believe in God, but I'm being a real person and saying, I wonder you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
that is definitely, and here's, I've had this conversation. I'm trying to see if I can make it sound right with my cousin, my twin. If we live this life believing and having faith, and that moment comes that person comes and says, do you believe in God? And you say yes, and they shoot you and maybe you die. What have you lost? But if you live, if that makes any sense, what have you, if you have lived the life, if you have walked it, but I live this life where I believe in God. I truly believe. And somebody, for whatever, what have I lost?
right,
But,
true.
but here's the flip side. What if I don't? And I find out that he does. Which one? Which one would be worse? What if I live this life saying there ain't no God, there ain't no that I just don't believe, and you live this life, and then one day you leave here and you discover that he is. But you've lived a life of hatred. You've lived a life of anger. You've lived a life of unforgiveness. You've been deceitful, cruel, mean, and everything else. Because I was thinking that living the life, how bad is it? How bad is it to live a life of wanting love and to extend love? How bad is it to offer forgiveness and to give forgiveness? How bad is that life? How bad is that? Because people make it out like it's the worst thing in the world. How, truly tell me, how bad is it?
Sometimes forgiveness feels like a lot of bricks falling off your shoulder, you know? Even though, like you always say, just because I'm forgiving and trying to let this go, because it's what I'm supposed to do, don't mean we still have to eat at the same table.
Right.
Which makes me think about, family, how family, and somebody posted, now I deal with this and I talk about it regularly, but I read a post the other day, somebody posted, I'm sorry, somebody had sent me a text. I'm so sorry, y'all. Someone posted a question the other day that said, siblings, what did it say? What do you think about cutting off siblings when they're toxic to you in your piece? Don't quote me, but that was basically what the question was. Um, I didn't put my 2 cents in like fully what I wanted to say, but I did just put that. Well, just so we gotta talk about off the clock because it's too much for me to say. But what do you before I give you my answer? What do you think? And let's take away siblings. Let's just say family.
It's all the same. See, that's again the life and everything good ain't God. And when I say that is this, keeping people around just because I'm gonna be good to keep them around and I'm gonna keep them in my inner circle because they're my family, they're my blood, they're my friend. Everything good ain't God. Everybody does not. I don't know why. It's not a bad thing not to have everybody in your inner circle. Why does people take that offensive? It is not a negative thing not to have oh my God, I just said this. Everybody don't have the passcode to your phone.
You said that Monday.
Everybody don't have it. So why is it a bad thing not to have, we have, how many people have, remember in school, I don't know, I'm old. Back in school, we used to have a combination lock on our locker. Everybody didn't have a combination to the lock. If so, then all the combinations would be the same. Each one is specifically designed for a person. Everybody has their own combination. People, when we go, everything good, and everybody ain't supposed, we're not supposed to allow everybody in our houses. In our houses, when I'm talking about our temple, everybody, just because I'm a good person, I want everybody in. That's not what God said. We can go out and we can love everybody. We can show love. We can show compassion. That doesn't mean that you have to bring everybody in, share everything with them, let them know your innermost everything. That's not what he said. Let me tell you, when Jesus went to go pray, he had 12 disciples. He didn't take them all with him. Everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go.
That didn't say, he never said, I don't love all of them. He didn't say, well, y'all can't go because I don't love y'all. I still love you, but you can't go. You're not a part of the selective group, the inside. Mm-hmm. And even the ones on the inside let him down. Everything good ain't God.
And it's funny you say that, when people say things like, well, that's your family. Well, that's your family. You using you prefacing all of that with because when we think about the Lord's Supper or those things like you just mentioned, people don't even think about that. They don't think about, and then when Jesus didn't take everybody, they don't think about that everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go. Everybody's not a part of the vision, and everybody's not a part of the purpose, but everyone is a part of the plan. Everybody is a part of the plan. We're all connected to this plan.
But it's which part of the plan are you supposed to play?
Yes. Because you're a part of the bigger plan, but you're not a part of my purpose.
There you go.
See, it starts to go down. The plan is huge. The purpose gets smaller. And then guess what? The vision for each and every one of us is even smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everybody can't fit in it. And trying to doesn't say, well, God said, no, he didn't. He said love. He didn't say, he didn't. He said forgive, but he didn't say. No. We want to twist these things around and make them to fit so it looks simple. Yep. This is the simplest thing that we have allowed ourselves. Personally, for a long time, I made it complicated because I thought that was how it's supposed to be. Well, it's good. No, it's not. It's not complicated.
Mm-hmm.
When we take time to follow our visions, we take time to follow our purpose, people tend to get aggravated, frustrated, and angry and deceitful and whatever else. Why? It's because, let me tell you, if you were doing what was God instead of what was good, then you wouldn't have time to be aggravated and frustrated with me because you were on your journey. You were on yours. You were trying to discover yours. So you don't have time to see what is going on with mine. What you knowing is, what did he say? All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his will. All of it works together.
Yeah.
What we have to do is work this thing in sections. The bigger of it, as it goes down and it comes to us.
And I think also people should think about the plan, the whole plan is not always going to be everything hunky-dory.
No.
It's going to be some valleys and some peaks.
And see, the there in this life, 58 years, I will tell you, I've had more valley than mountaintops. And I don't know if many people can, if you really look at your life, if each and every one of us just takes a moment to look, you've been in the valley more than you've been on the mountaintop. And what the valley experience has done for me, what the valley experience has done for me, what the valley experience, it has made me, when I finally have elevated to one of the mountaintops, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. I respect it. I honor the fact that I'm here. But see, if you don't gain anything in the valley, if you don't gain anything during the struggle, if you don't gain anything during the tears, if you don't gain anything during the heartache, if you don't gain anything during the backstab, if you don't gain anything during the loss, my God, you can never ever appreciate the elevation, because what you're still going to be doing is holding on to the experience of the valley. You're going to be holding on. Why? You won't even realize you have been elevated, because your mind will still be in the valley.
Yep. But going through the valley does, and I think people should know, for me, in my experience, you mentioned that you're in the valley and in the lows a lot more, but what you don't learn that first time in the valley, you may learn the second or the third or the fourth. And there are some things that I've been in several times, and I actually was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be learning from this. But it takes several times sometimes to hit that, I don't want to say rock bottom, but hit that valley to say, wait a minute, let me think about this. How does this work? Or what's happening? What am I learning from this? What is the lesson? And even when you know what the lesson is, that still ain't the final stop. That still ain't the final stop. Sometimes you still have to go through again to say, okay, then you go through it again. Sometimes it takes a minute for you to, because we're not perfect.
No.
We are not perfect, and we shouldn't be put, that expectation shouldn't be put on us,
And here's the thing, is even that anything that somebody wants to put, any jacket you want to put, you can. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm gonna wear it. But you have the freedom, and you have the right to put any kind of jacket on when you want to. Mm-hmm. You anything you want to, any title you want to. Doesn't mean I have to wear it.
Don't mean I have to wear it.
And
Look, people give me stuff all the time, and it be nice and stuff. That okay, you can give it to me. I'm probably not gonna wear that, but thank you.
and that's it. And when we realize is sometimes we become, again, there it is. Everything good ain't God. Just because somebody giving you something, don't mean you have to accept it. Don't mean you gotta put it on. Don't mean you have to claim it. Everything good ain't God.
Just like they say, everything, all money ain't good money.
That's right.
There's some things I've been offered, and it's like, I ain't doing that for that.
And that's having integrity.
Integrity.
That is gaining, that is that integrity, that is that peace. See, when we understand, when I come to understand, when I can have peace in the valley, those things that you talk about, that those experiences, see, if each and every one of us will take a bounce back over our lives, and I just said this about the valley experiences, because a lot of those things, again, were things that were repeated over. We've lost something, someone before. We will lost more than one. We've been hurt one time or two times before. But it's when you gaining from that valley. It's when you're discovering that peace in that valley, and you're going like, I was hurt before, but I'm still here. That pain that I experienced before, it didn't kill me. It bit me over. Oh, it bit me over, Lord, it bit me. It had me curl up in a fetal position, but it didn't kill me. And when you realize,
I'm sorry.
and I was just gonna say, and when you realize that it didn't, and now you hear your face in this, you're going like, don't you know I got hit like that? That's like I told my friend. He was going through some things, and I said, "This is what you're doing." I had this old, like the old. If we would handle ourselves like Rocky used to handle himself, the old Rocky movies. Remember, Rocky used to be. He used to be getting beat down, but all he had to do was hold on. Then, see, that's like anything else. When you're getting beat down in this life, when you're getting punched and you're getting hit, remember Rocky, the underdog. All he did was hold on. See, if you hold on, then whatever it is going like, I ain't got you yet. No, it ain't. Because I've been here before. See, the last time I was here, I had my fist up like this. I remember that when I had them up like this last time, what happened when I got hit over here. So now this time, I understand I need to cover up a little bit more. See, I learned something. It might not have been a lot, but what I did was I took and I applied what happened last time. The lesson I applied that hit last time to go like, he hit me on this side. Yeah, I'm covering that one. You won't get that one again. Sometimes we have to take those licks in order to know how to cover, how to move. You just don't know it until you go through it. But see, you have to go through it a time or two because it strengthens you. Everything that we go through strengthens us. Everything that we go through makes us stronger. It builds up endurance. Because them things will come. Them things will come.
Is this a good place for me to interject?
Yes, ma'am.
Remember I was telling you earlier, somebody was writing about women that what I say, women are always saying they want to they want a man, but then they want to say they want to be independent, so they'll never get a man.
Right.
I see him responding back to what I said, but I won't respond anymore because what they say, I said what I said, and I meant what I said, that I'm not going to dumb myself down, and I'm not going to take away my accolades and my success and my vision I can sit on this couch. Anyway, that's not the testimony. I just was reading, not reading. I saw it pop up on the notification popped up. I said, I'm not going to go back and read anything what he's saying, but
And I will say this. Let me give you this on that. Mm-hmm. And I had one of those today as well. Mm-hmm. I did a post today, and I had someone what was their free will to come on and make a statement.
Their free will.
And I made a comment, not openly, but directly to them. And I said directly to them, I think his name was Mr. Love, Mr. Lowe, I can't remember. But anyway, directly to him, I said, this is my worthless 2 cents. And your approval is not needed. Now he made some other comments after that, but I didn't have to make any more comments because I said what I said. Yeah. It's still, and you can post on there a million one more times, but I done told you what it was. It was mine.
Some people just trying to get a rise anyway.
And that's and that was in all love again.
All in love. And the way I feel, I'm talking about me. My experience is not your experience. But I know one thing, that just because someone says they're independent and they want to be independent doesn't mean they don't want a man or they don't deserve a man. I don't want a man that don't want me to be somewhat independent. That's not, and by saying that I'm independent, that doesn't mean that I don't want nobody to help me with anything. But you should want, as a man, you should want and you have daughters, you should want your daughters to grow up to be independent and not dependent on someone to do everything for her. Yes, you have to, submit. And God knows that is a little hard for me, but you do, you submit when you get married, that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that most people that I have gotten to know, they want someone that has something to bring to the table. They want them to have some type of, can you see 2 full, whole, sane, successful to a certain extent, both have good visions? What kind of power couple that could be? Why we can't both be successful and smart, got visions, and we come together and make this thing work?
In the reality of my world is that's what people miss, is that you both bring something. 2 people come together. I wholeheartedly believe that 2 individuals are still 2 individuals that come together. I think I said this earlier, that you have a person that has had a life and you have another person that has had a life. You continue to grow and you continue to feed each other individually, but you also feed each other collectively. So it all grows. See, and that's how I just envision how it's supposed to be. 2 people grow. And you're pouring in and you're pouring into each other, but you're never neglecting the fact of what you're pouring into together, what has been brought together to. The bottom line of relationships, for me and what I've learned, a relationship is to give God the glory. Whatever we're doing in it, are we coming together and bringing the glory of this? Is glorifying him. Again, back to the original. Everything good, everybody good, ain't God. Everybody you bring in, it's not to uplift and glorify him. And that's what the unions are for. It's not for one to think that, oh, I'm this and that. No, it's 2 individuals. 2 people.
It's 2 individuals. That's both of them have some type of mental stability,
right,
that come together. Because if you're still broke, and I don't mean money broke, I mean broken and hurt and got baggage, and that person, I'm not saying it won't work. Well, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be hard.
I would say this as far as no one has. And my thoughts, and this goes back to my very first show that I did with my daughter, and we were talking about that. One of the things I truly believe now is we all, no matter where we are in life, because we are, as we grow and we get older, we're gonna, every one of us has some baggage.
Yeah.
And the thing about having it is having the person that you can safely unpack it with, and you both unpack each other's baggage, and you bring it to a place where you're safe. It is a safe haven. That's what the home should be. That's what the relationship should be, is a place where you can safely unpack things without being judged, without being criticized, without being
And
disciplined.
I hear that to a certain extent, but I do think you need to work on yourself. You can't
No, no, no. I think that
can't
yes,
go
you
into a
do.
you can't
Right.
go into a full-fledged relationship and you all broke up and got all this baggage. You can
No,
take some baggage, but you can't be taking all them suitcases into
no,
a
no, no,
relationship.
no, no, no. That's not. No, I mean, but
Because if you broke up,
no,
I mean,
I
you're
mean,
not gonna be with
no.
somebody that's
I
all
totally
broke up.
agree. I'm just saying, when you come as you come with these things, and you, because at the point of being, have worked on what you have,
Mhm.
that is that you know that you have some. I'm not talking about somebody that come in and say, I ain't got no issue. I ain't got name, never
No,
had
I'm
no.
saying they can come in. I mean, even if they come in, even if you have baggage that you know, I feel after things that I've dealt with in life, and I'm sure you have too, that the lesson from some of those things is, wait a minute, that person had not healed. That person
Right,
hadn't got the help that they needed. I hadn't got the help I needed. So we couldn't really mesh
right,
forever and make this a long lasting thing because we both had these issues that we hadn't got healed. Because at the end of the day, we can't always heal each other. We can help each
no,
other, we can assist each other, but we
right.
can't completely heal someone. Somebody need to lay on the couch. Both of us need to have laid on the couch. At this age, at 53, going to be 54, I want someone that they got all that I'm not saying everything, because yes, I want to be there to listen, and I want somebody to be there to listen to me. I want to come home to where I can just cry, lay my head on your shoulder to tell you what my day was, this was going on. But do I want to live a life at this age and this at this time to where we both got all these issues to where it becomes toxic to us both? I think that that's just at this age. I get it, maybe in the 20s or something, everybody ain't got the little help they need, which I still think they don't need to get married. Now that I know what I know, I don't think that. But
Right.
yes, you need to have someone you can trust, that you can talk to, but it don't always need to be about, well, my family, this happened to my family, this happened to my family, this is going on. It's always something that is means somebody haven't got their help. And I mean,
Right. No, I
now
agree.
I understand venting. We vent. If you're in a relationship, I think you should be able to vent. But you know what I mean? When it's deeper than that, when it's mommy issues, daddy issues, I think it's putting too much on a partner sometimes.
Oh
To
no, no, I don't think that you should. I agree with that. I think
Mhm.
that you should always, going into anything, you should already have worked on
Done
self.
some work. Okay.
Anybody that ain't done no work on self, everything good ain't God. Okay, I'm telling you that. Yeah,
For the,
no,
and for the ones that may not be as spiritual as we are, everything good ain't easy.
right. And
Everything easy, wait a minute, everything easy, not good is what I mean. I've seen
and
couples
looking.
and thought, matter of fact, someone I used to be really good friends with. Man, I was so, and when I say envious or jealous, I don't mean the bad kind. It was just I would look at the relationship and say, oh my God, that's what I want. I want someone, a guy who wants me to go, doesn't mind. And I don't want to be up under each other 24 hours a day. But when you say, man, I'm finna go to Austin, or I'm going to Dallas for this event, come on, roll with me. That's what I want. I don't
Right,
want you to feel like the only time you can have fun is if you're with your boys and I'm with my girls. I want someone, and he was that person. He took his girlfriend, and I'm saying woman like he be saying. I hate how that sounds. Sound like caveman. But he took his lady with him where he went, and it wasn't because he had to.
right.
He wanted her there with him, and they had a great. You could see them having a great time. Then you come back and I told somebody, I said, man, that is what I want. And the person said, everything that looked good ain't good. And sure enough, this particular couple, things behind closed doors was cuckoo because they had not been healed. It was a front. It was a when we here doing this, having a good time, it's all hunky dory. But when we go home, well, I'm not even gonna say get home. Once we get in the car, then it's on and popping. You know what I mean? That is not a good way to live, especially at our ages. Over 50, we need to be done with all the drama and the toxicity. You know, we need to be trying to get help. Or hopefully we've gotten help, but getting help, praying together. And I don't want to be sound rude and ugly. So I'm not saying that you don't have some things that you share with your mate about that. I'm just saying you just can't go in all broke up, all them crazy.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, it has to be. That's the again, it's that knowing and being led by the Spirit and having the God in there. Just because somebody looks good, you know, just because they sound good, or just because this looks. What do they say about some of the sports things? Oh, the teams look good on paper.
Just like jobs, employee applicants look good on paper.
Good on paper. But when you actually get it in, it is not the fit, because on paper that's how it looks. And sometimes we get caught up in that. We get caught up because well, this felt good. Or no, again, for me, it's about removing the self and going like, what are the long-term ramifications of this? Not past this moment of good. Is this something that's sent to keep the peace or disturb the peace? What and that's anything, that's relationship, that's work, that it doesn't matter. People, peace, when you have that, and God has taken each and every one of us. We've been on, anybody over 20 been on this journey. If you're over 20, trust me, I don't care if you're just 21, you done tapped the journey, okay? It's 22 and 3, so you've been on the journey. So you may not, at 21, you may not know the full ramifications of what peace is, but you done had a glimpse.
You done had a glimpse. But I don't know, in your 20s, you're doing so much, having so much a good time. Child, you thinking you at peace. Till you sit there by yourself and realize everybody got, I remember I've always had big birthday parties. Like I planned my birthday 6 months ahead of time when I was up to a couple of years ago. I still celebrate my birthday all August long, just FYI. But I used to have big parties. And it would be so funny because after the full-fledged weekend and the party was over and you get home and there's no people around, it was like a withdrawal. Like it was just quiet.
Right.
And it was something that was so weird to me. And actually a friend of mine, he's a musician, John Rochelle. He said that I can't give the words that he gave me, but he explained, I feel so depressed. And I've had a great weekend, great birthday. And that's when he broke down to me the wheels, the horns and the sirens, all that's gone. Right. So now it just comes down to you. That's why you got to be happy with you and comfortable with you and in your space.
And that's
bells and whistles. That was the word I was looking for. The bells and whistles are gone.
But that's the valley. That's what we spend so much of our time. Is that, yes, the celebrations and the big things, it goes off. But if you can't truly handle, if you can't handle it at the oof, not a lot of people go over the edge when everything is going great. It's when it gets that silent time, because now it's, wait, people ain't applauding for me.
Right.
The horns ain't going off. Well, I can't handle it now. When I'm sitting at the house, but the phone ain't ringing. Because we have become so accustomed to the noise that we can't even handle the silence.
And it takes time to be there. It takes time to get there. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay, especially young, all that. And even after he said that to me, I still continued to have a good time for my birthday. And I mean, I still do now, but now I've grown to where I enjoy being by myself. I really just like being around people. I love being around people, to be honest with you. I just love being around people. But now I really just be wanting to be right there on my couch. Matter of fact, yesterday I was feeling good yesterday. I just and no tea, no shade. I just didn't want to talk to nobody yesterday. Right. I wasn't even feeling that bad. I mean, I was a little sore, but I just until 12. I mean, it was 11. It was like 10 something because you was at lunch. That's around the time I decided, okay, I feel like talking again. And my daughter, I was at my daughter's house, but she is in one room. X was in another room, and I'm upstairs in one of the rooms with them by myself with my TV and just in hog heaven. And the dog came in to check on me every so often. But so funny. I know we are on a serious topic, but let me just make y'all laugh for a minute. So I get there. So my daughter's dog, anywhere she go, he go. And when she leave the house, he sits right there at the door till she come back. If she in her room with the door closed, he gonna sit right there. But anyway, it was at nighttime, so I was going upstairs and he jumped up at me like, "Where you going?" So I go I said, "Okay, Nico." So I go into the room to go to bed. I was on the couch at first. I just wasn't comfortable. So I got up and went into the room, and he came in and looked around and said, "Well, you good? You gonna sit down now?" Okay, well, I'm gonna go back where I was. So funny. But anyway, it's like he was making sure everything was okay. But I do want to talk what Monday, what I was supposed to come on and talk about on speak on it was the testimony that I want to mention. And I could wait till next Monday, but I don't want to. And she's not a friend of mine, but it was a lady at work and going through some things. And this is kind of on two different little topics. One, we have a lot of people out there, and Country Boy and I talk about this all the time, that so many people out here saying, "Oh, we give this and we give that and we give. We got clothes to give. We got this to give. Any resources come to me." But when you call them, what you get? Crickets. So what you really doing? So I had a young lady who I'm a wraparound specialist at this time. And so what I do is I provide non-academic needs for students, families, in the community, which means I help people find shelter, food, whatever it is they may need, legal help, whatever it is. They say transportation, but I don't know how we supposed to help them with transportation. And that part I don't get. They can take that off the line. But this lady that works there, she's one of the, what do you call it? Teachers' aid is what they call them, I guess. Teachers, paraprofessionals. She hunted me down to tell me, "Hey, I'm losing my apartment. I have 2 kids. One is autistic. He is an older baby. He's like, I think 18 or whatever." And at the time, I just didn't have any resources because I had been calling for resources for someone else too. And everybody said they were out of money. They didn't have any housing. They had Baker Ripley is really the place that Baker Ripley had nothing left. I called a shelter and they said, "Hey, if she contacts us, we can find, if we can't find something, we have somebody that can." But let's be honest about shelters. I couldn't be upset with her when she said this. She said, "I don't want to go to the shelter because it's just so dangerous. And to have my kids there, then my son is autistic. I just can't do that." And I have mad respect for that. And she's not the first woman who had, this other person had little kids. She says, "I can't take my baby to the shelter. It's just too dangerous." But anyway, long story short, I had nothing for her. But anyway, I moved on about my business, went on with my life. And I'd heard little bits and pieces of people talking about her around the school about, not having this, "Oh, she's in the classroom crying," or this, that, and other. Well, I have a heart. So if the woman was crying in the classroom, I say she must be really having it hard. When you get to a point where you can't hold in your emotions, that's a big deal. No one sitting around crying in front of children or anything when it's not. No one wants to do that. Nobody's trying to do that. And, even though from what she tells me, she would excuse herself from the room when she felt because she was at the point of she didn't know what else to do. Right. And of course, she's praying and stuff, but didn't know what else to do. But anyway, moving past the spring, we was at school. So in the summer, I got to really know her a little bit more because we worked in summer school together. We had opportunity to talk. And so she's still in the same predicament because I think they let her pay a little bit of her rent for her to stay a little bit longer.
Right.
And so she paid what she had. But then she was told by someone else, don't keep giving them money. You need to be just saving that money up. So if you need to move, you'll have money to move. And then, you know, you got to go to court. You got all those things you got to do before they actually evict you. Whatever. So she was just telling me one day, we were sitting out there in that hot sun, and she was saying, you know, what did she say? I'm just waiting on them to see what they're gonna do. I guess I'll just sit here and wait to see when they're gonna evict me or this, that, and other. So finally, I don't know where it came from. I mean, I know where it came from because you have said it several times. And I know it's in the Bible. But my point is, without me even thinking about it, it was not even conscious. I said, yeah, you waiting, but faith without works is dead. You got to be doing your job too. You can't just wait on God to do stuff. You can't just sit and wait for them to come evict you. I said, I understand that you've asked people, but you got to get to moving. And I didn't think I think she said whatever. I thought she blew it off. We went on to the next day. And it was probably 2 or 3 days later. It might have been the next week. She came back and just said, hey, Miss Laurie, I just want to tell you, you said something to me the other day that really resonated with me. And I'm thinking to myself, well, child, what did I say? And she said what I said about faith without works is dead. One, it was a proud moment. I was like, yes, girl, you just said something to help somebody. But also, she said when I said that, she said, she's right. I need to do something. So she got up and started calling other apartments, telling her story, telling what's going on, what she needed. And an apartment manager said, don't tell nobody, but I'm going to try to get you in these apartments. I feel you. I know what's happening. I'm going to work my jelly and see what I can do. But you can't tell anybody else, you know, in that office or whatever. And I'm not going to lie. It was not the manager. It was the assistant manager. So then, anyway, so that I was so excited. Oh my God, that's so great. Well, the next day she came back and said, well, she said they found something on my credit from like 2016, an eviction or something like that. And so now I don't know what I'm gonna do, but she told me not to worry about it. Let us see what she could do. The day after that, my last day was the day that she told me that they had found something, so she didn't think it was gonna work. The next day, which would have been Friday, it was last Friday, she called me on my cell phone and said, hey, I know I hate to call you at home off the clock, but I've got to tell you something. I said, oh, that's fine. Call me anytime. I got the apartment. They got me in. I was so happy for her. I was happy for her for many reasons. One, just because she seems to be a good lady.
Right.
She does. She has a child. She's a single parent with 2 kids. I remember when STAR testing came, they gave her a hard time because her daughter's daycare called and she had to stay home because the daughter had a double infection, ear infection. They told that woman, text her back and said, I'm sorry that your daughter's sick, but you need to come to work because testing is it's mandatory for you to be here on testing day. You can't be off. And her statement to them was, well, do what you got to do. I am a single mother and my child is sick. And I will handle it when I come back, whatever. So those things were happening to her, you know. It was so much. And then to find someone that literally helped her get her kids, and that's all she wanted was a place to live. She said it's only a 1 bathroom, but she said it don't even matter. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, but we gonna make it work. So that was my testimony, just to show you how you can affect someone.
Yes.
And I'm not, you know, I don't feel like crying like that. That day I did. But now that I've gotten past it, it's just something that makes me feel good that I said something that really made somebody get up off their behind and go. And not saying that the woman was late. I'm not saying that by any means. But she kept using the word, well, I'm waiting. Well, I guess I'm just sit here and wait. And me making the statement that I made her say, wait a minute, let me do something. And look at where we're at.
And that is what the testimony, and that is a wonderful testimony, is what we can do. I say it often, you know, when we do our part, God will do the rest, but we have to do our part. And when we get that, and it's so true, faith without works is dead. You know, we can sit up here and have faith all day and not want to do anything. It doesn't work that way.
You got to do the application to get the job.
Amen. We have to step out there. That's what stepping out on faith is going. Faith is not that thing that you see. I don't know why people think faith is that. Faith is the thing you don't see. You don't even see it, but you're going after it.
Yeah.
It is if we focus on the promise and not the problems. If
True
we
that.
focus on the promise is still the promise is promise. I don't care how many problems come, but the promise is still
The
still the
promises.
promise.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and not backtracking, but you're so right
Mm-hmm.
about the thing that there are. That's that again. Everything has rolled back around to that. Everything is good in God, and there are certain things and places and organizations that say the good. But is it about God? Is it truly about helping others? Is it truly about being there for those that need? I know that yes, Lord, trust me. I'm not saying that you can help everybody, but what I will say, if you have set yourself or your organization to be there to support and to help, then your help could be just encouragement. Your help could be just answer a phone, return an email, return a text message. Your help. See, because no one is reaching out to a shelter because they got somewhere to go. No one is going to the food bank because they full. No one is going to look for clothes because they got a closet full. If your organization, whatever it may be, is built on the premises that we help,
We need to help.
everything is good, ain't God.
And if you can't help, answer those calls. And if you're someone that's saying that you're highly connected to these public servants, politicians, all of that stuff, I'm gonna need you to answer the phone. Or contact me and just say, hey, you know what? I don't have any resources for that. I only deal with seniors. That's fine. But just say, but let me reach out. Because if they help seniors find housing, they might can help you. You know, and I'm just gonna go off, I'm going off into the worldly statement I have. My preacher have said it in the past. Test the lies. Test the lies. You out here telling everybody all this stuff you're doing for the community and all that stuff, but what are you really doing? Because someone that someone has sent some people to you who are in need. Are you picking and choosing who you answer on the phone or checking the text? Like, what are we doing? These people are already putting aside their pride to reach out and ask for help. That is hard. It is hard to say, I can't support my children. I don't have a place to go for me and my children to lay our head. I don't have food for us to eat. So when they reach out to you, they have gotten to the point of that, to where their pride is gone. I always tell them, I don't have pride when it comes to my children. I work 3 jobs. You know, I have worked, I say I'll never work a part-time job when I was a little bit younger. I used to work part-time jobs, and finally I got to the point that I'm never working a part-time job, but I always gave the disclaimer, unless it's something for my children. Every year for back to school time, I had pretty much had a seasonal part-time job to make sure that I was going to be able to get my kids what they need. You know what I mean?
Right.
Answer the phones. And the bad thing about it is, you be careful. And this is my worldly part. Folks will call you out. Folks will blast you all over social media, but it happens all the time. With TMZ, all them little stations like that, they do that on social media. I ain't gonna be that person right now, but be
Yeah.
careful of what you out there saying, because someone could definitely comment back and be like, well, I sent someone to you and they never got a return call back and they sent you 3 emails.
Right.
You
And
know,
I
it's
think that is just
just you mentioned earlier integrity,
right.
morals.
And I just say that don't be out here saying that your goal and your mission and your vision is to
And
help
getting awards for it.
and you're not. you know, and I'm not saying again, I know that everybody can't help everybody. What I'm saying is this, plain and simple, it's not that difficult. If you can't, then at the very least, you can tell a person, hey, I don't have the resources. Don't leave somebody who is in dire need when you could have at least, and it could have been your, hey, I don't have, that could have been an inspiration to them. It could have been just something to know, like, don't give up. Because with saying nothing, that cut of saying nothing is just as bad as a gunshot wound to the head.
That and this is just my personal 2 cents. Um, if you are and yes, I am speaking personally of some people. If you have the connections you have, yes, you might not have the resources. What's wrong with answering so you say, okay, I don't have the resources, but let me pass you on to someone else who might, somebody else
Right.
who might, and that person might pass her on. It's too many of us here to where we couldn't get some. You might not be able to get her a good apartment or whatever, but you might be able to help her with some other things she might have. Pass the word, because we are a community
Yes.
that's supposed to be helping community. And if you are well connected in the community, you've gotten awards for being in the community doing things. That means you know some people. So in those people, and that's just anything. Even when we talk about this talk show, our talk shows, our podcasts, and everything like that, we always say like and share. If you don't want to talk about it, if you don't want to hear, pass it on to one person. That person may pass it on to one person. That person passes on. That's how things happen. Pass it on along. No, everybody does not. You can't help everybody,
Right.
but you can definitely make a conscious effort to try to do something, even if it's just passing it along to someone else.
Amen. Because I would hate that day to come, and I'm standing up there. He says, "Depart from me, because I know you not." Oh, but I was doing your work. I don't know you. I don't even know
Who
you.
you? Who you?
Who you?
Who your
Who
mama
you?
is?
But I was down there. I don't know you. I don't know you. Understand, everything good ain't God.
Everything ain't good, ain't God. Everything that gold don't glisten.
Hmm.
But country boy,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
you've had a great show.
Oh,
I
thank you.
thank you for letting me step in to visit.
Well, I appreciate you coming. Look, this is the longest this old boy been up on this thing on Wednesday in 250,000 years.
That's funny. It was a great show. I'm glad I came in at the right time. I hope you don't mind me peeping in.
No,
Guys
man.
that said, I think I don't see her on here tonight, but Miss Julie, I saw her the other night when I was on listening. She said she wishes me to get better. I am good. I'm happy and going on, and little pain, but it really feels like you haven't worked out in 6 months, and that's what I feel. But I feel good. My energy is pretty much back. Now I'm gonna go back to sleep again, but and I'm gonna tell you what's hard. This low, I got a week to go. I got 2 more days to go on this low salt, low
Mm.
sodium thing. Man, that ain't no joke. Cause I don't. And what's crazy is I like salads, but I haven't burned out a salad. I haven't burned out a salad. I don't want to see another salad for a while. And I love me a good salad. But yeah, that's been the hardest part is adjusting to the diet for the week of not, because with the procedure you don't want to swell, and salt
Right.
makes you swell. But otherwise, yes, I's here, I's back. Can I
I
make another
enjoy it.
announcement?
You sure can. Go ahead.
Y'all, I am having a cruise. I don't know if any of y'all like live music, but I'm having a live music cruise. And it is sailing out of Galveston on Thursday, March the 7th. And it's returning on Monday morning, March the 11th. So if you don't have spring break that next week, guess what? You get back at 8. You can take your bath on the ship, pack your stuff, get on off the ship, and go to work. You can still make it to work for 9 o'clock. Just tell me you're gonna be a little late. You make that for 9 o'clock. So come on and come with us. Or if you're on spring break that week, because it is going into spring break week, you can just be off. It is gonna be a band called The City. Very good band, young people that they play old school music, but to upbeat, more modern beat rather. Then we have the violinist Dominic Hammonds, who's awesome. And then we have the comedian. His name is Lil Daryl. Lil Daryl can just walk across the stage and you gonna bust a good laughing at him. He is just that funny, and not that he look funny. He just that funny. He don't even have to open his mouth. He come there and just stand there with his microphone and you will laugh. So I'm super excited. I did this cruise in 2019. I've had some challenges getting it done. I actually gave it up and shut it down. But it happened and I'm very excited. So if you're interested in going, reach out to me. You can contact me on my inbox, which is Trina W. Lowry. You don't remember that, you can always reach out to Country Boy. You know how to find me, Country Boy.
Yeah, you somewhere on that thing, chat with Trina thing.
So find me, and then make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for Chat with Trina. And on Monday nights, guess what we got? We are speaking on it every single Monday at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock because Country Boy don't like daytime. He like to talk at nighttime. After he eat.
That's right. You sure right.
When he come on here early, he gonna be quiet because he ain't eating his chicken.
I got that to say. I got
happy birthday again, Country Boy. I'm gonna give you one last birthday shout out. Thank you for joining me for dinner. Was that Sunday? Sunday. Happy birthday. You look like you had a great time. Blessings to you for a good new year. I can't wait to see all the wonderful things that you have planned and what's coming up in this new year. I'm just really excited that I am your friend and I get to witness and share all of these cool things with you. I'm just it just feels great to have a real good friend who has vision and I can believe in their vision, they can believe in my vision, and that we both working on coming up. We both gonna be in the palace.
Hey, working on it. It is I thank you so much. I really do. I appreciate it. Y'all stay tuned. Actually, it's gonna be later. I don't know. September. I'm going on the road. Y'all.
You're not gonna walk.
I ain't gonna click. No. Ain't be none of that. But I'll be on the road in September. Yeah, there's some wonderful things coming. I give God all the glory. I'm so grateful.
And he just dragged me along with it.
Yeah. She getting on the boat.
I'm going. I got to go with the superstar. I got to follow the superstar so he can leave some of his nuggets for me.
Hey, she getting on the boat. She got a whole boat, y'all. She got a whole boat. Don't let her fool y'all. She got the whole boat. I ain't got one of them boats you put in the bathtub. She got the whole boat going in there.
Your baby girl don't have no boat. She not a boy. She a girl. She don't have no boat.
No, she got no boat. She just got her dogs in there. But I'm grateful. I am. I give God the glory each and every day for allowing me to come to sit here. I don't ever. I know sometimes I may sound harsh. I don't intend to offend anybody. I really don't. But what I will say is this: if my praise and my worship offends you, then you will be offended. If that offends you, because I am going to each and every day honor the man. I'm going to give it to him each and every day because his grace in my life is sufficient. He has brought me through, is bringing me through, and will take me further. So again, if my praise, if the way I carry myself offends you, you will just be offended.
Country Boy, I'm so sorry, but you said that. So I don't know if I said this to you. You know who Kim is? K.M., the singer? You've heard his music before. He sings, but God has brought him through lots. He's an R&B singer. But I just read his book. Well, I listened to his book. And he said just what you said. He had a musician in his band. And he found out his musician was getting really mad and angry because he has a section in all of his shows where he shows praise. He has like a praise point. He's not a gospel singer by any means. But he has a section in his show that he pays honor to God. And he found out that someone who has been with him from the beginning, someone that he loved, was having an issue with it. And he was talking to the band. It was just making it all uncomfortable for people.
Mm.
He went to him and had a conversation with him, tried to have a conversation. He didn't want to have a conversation. So he just told him, I'm going to do this as a part of my show. I love you, but God has brought me to where I'm at today. Because he was on drugs at one time.
Mm.
Bad. And he went through some women and had all that. But God has brought him through. He's not on drugs anymore. He's famous now. He has a wife now and children, and he's on the right path. And he says, I have to give that glory to him. And I'm going to do it at my show. If that's something that you can't accept, I love you. We're going to be brothers forever. But you can exit left. They ain't his words, but exit left. And when you said that, it made me think about it. This is someone he loved, someone that's been with him through thick and thin, but he was not comfortable with him doing that part of his show. And he said, this will be a part of my show.
Right.
Isn't that something?
And that's, I know a lot of people that, again, it's that thing of people don't, it's not always easy because, some people will give in because they don't want to be felt like they're ostracized.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, as I said earlier, if at the end of this whole life, when there is no more waking up for me and I've taken my last breath, if the way that I have lived my life and given honor to God and tried to do the right thing and be righteous, I'm not saying perfect, but live, if at the end of the day I wake up or when I don't wake up, what have I lost?
Mm.
But if I live my life full of hatred, full of hell and brimstone,
Mm-hmm.
going around spitting fire and everything else, and I wake up and I realize that God does exist.
He does. And he shows up every day.
Every day. And I will continually praise him. I will continually worship him because for me, he is good. He is good. When I hear the testimony of the young lady, he is good. When I know that I've seen other people that have gone through and are going, he is good. When I see people that think that they can't make it, but then I see them again and they have made it, he is good. When I see people come up, I jump up. Why do I jump up? Because if he's blessing over there, Lord, I'm going to keep on praising because it's coming over here. This old boy's got too much water underneath the bridge now. Too much water has gone underneath this old bridge for me to be trying to stir up some mud. Mm-mm. I'm grateful and I'm humbled and I thank you for popping in here tonight and for jumping on. I missed you on Monday. I had to hold her down. I held her down though. I held her down.
I was on. I was listening, but you don't look at your comments, so you don't. You couldn't. And I was so frustrated. I said, he won't even look. He won't even look.
I can't.
But Donna James, thank you
that's
for
my twin.
she says twin.
That's my twin.
And because your light disturbs the dark, and then God hates pride. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Donna James, twin of Country Boy.
So, but that's all this old boy got tonight. That's
all we got.
That's all. I will reiterate the fact, and I keep saying this, and I hope it gets through. Everything good ain't God, and right ain't always easy. But stand on those two. Stand on doing the right thing. If you have to stand alone, but understand you ain't standing by yourself. Follow God. Don't worry about trying to just do good. Make sure it's in God's will. It is what He wants. Understand. Understand how big this thing is. There's the plan, there's the purpose, and there's the vision. And everybody can't go with you. That's okay.
Everybody, everything cannot go with you.
That's okay. And enjoy, embrace. Enjoy and embrace the valley. Because you will spend more time in the valley than you will on the mountaintop.
And when you get past the valley, you're going to appreciate the valley so much.
Yes.
And you'll understand.
There it is. There it is. That's all boy got. That's it.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. That's it. Look, that's it, and I'm done.
That's all. All right, y'all. Well, good to thank you for letting me crash the party.
Well, I shall appreciate it again. I thank you. I'm glad that you're getting better. To God be the glory. Continue to heal and get better. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Take care of what's supposed to be taken care of. Stay away from the salts and things and whatever you ain't supposed to be doing.
I had to not have me a Mountain Dew today. Whew.
Listen, I'm sitting over here looking at one. I got one sitting right over yonder.
They told me I gotta drink. I'm supposed to drink a water every hour. Child, that ain't gonna happen. I'm ready to drink as I possibly can, but ain't one glass every hour. I'm gonna see what I can do tomorrow. I may try to make that work, but I gotta do better with the water. But yes, I feel good. I'm so glad. I'm listening to go take a shower because I'm gonna go take a shower and then I'm gonna lay it down. Let's all lay it down.
It must be nice. Some folks ain't got to get up in the morning. Well, some folks like me got to get up in the morning. Everybody ain't on vacation.
Look, I will not be up tomorrow. I will get up and see the sunshine looking out my window in the morning, thinking, "Oh, country boy is on his way to work."
On my way,
on the freeway. Oh, he probably passing me by since he got to go down 290. He was waving at me. Oh, country boy, we really got to get together and work on our resource fairs, get it planned.
Yeah.
All these churches you got that be wanting you to come to their house, you need to tell them we need to borrow their church.
I know these folks they gonna get mad at me and say, "No, I don't want that fella from young."
Well, I tell you these women out here trying to get you. One of them might get their passes to let you have it.
Tell Pastor, come on, I'm right here.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good night.
Hey, thank y'all so very much. I'll close it like I always do. If the good Lord has given you, remember I said the plan, the purpose, and the vision. The good Lord has given you a vision, no matter what that vision is He's giving it to you. Don't worry about the people that tell you, talk down, and this, that, and the other, and try to discourage you. Because if the good Lord has given you a vision, man, trust me, He has already prepared the provision for that vision. So you just go for it and you just keep on going. You understand this and you understand it from my heart. Don't nobody else tell you that they believe in it. This little boy right here, and my co-host right there, that jumped on up in here. We believe in you. We believe in you. And we want you to just keep on pushing. Don't give up. Don't give up. I can promise you this, if you give up, you will never reach it. If you give up, you will never ever know. You will always question yourself and wonder, what if? So you keep on pushing and you keep on going. Lastly but not least, if you woke up this morning and you popped open your eyes and you look around, you didn't hear them words. You wanted to, but you ain't hear them. If you got up today and you was rolling through the city, you probably either got wet or you got hot, because it was both of them. It was raining and hot.
Rain?
Yeah,
I missed the rain.
Yeah, it was both of them. It was raining and hot. That's the worst kind right there. But you still didn't hear it. Well, here it is. It's right here. I can't see because I ain't got my glasses on. It look like about 9:35. I don't know, the lost my glasses again.
9:35. You did good.
Hey, I did pretty good. I squinted them things right there. Look here, if you'd have made it to 9:35, I'm gonna tell you right here, you gonna hear it. And you will hear it every time you hear this old voice. Or you read something that I put, you will hear this right here. That I love you. I love you. And I love you unconditionally. As I sit in my rocker, and there ain't nothing that
Nothing.
you know what? I thank y'all so much. Your country we're gonna rock a little bit right here. This country rock.
I want to rock. Oh, I can rock a little bit.
Yeah, this old country rocker right here. This is a real old rocker. This old country rocker. I'm sitting in the rock. Look here, I love y'all. I look forward to y'all catching us. What is this? I don't even know. Monday
Monday at 8.
Monday at 8 o'clock. We'll be on. So I thank y'all so very much. Look, y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. And we will see y'all Monday. We are out of here.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word. We'll be back Monday. Bye, y'all.